Hi guys, it's Daisy from Mindful Closet, and today I want to tell you a few of my best closet organization tips. Okay, so first tip, super obvious, hang like with like, right? So all your shirts together, all your pants together, all your dresses together. I know, obvious, but you'd be surprised how many closets I walk into where that isn't the case, and that can make it so confusing to try and find something. I like to hang most things. I know this is kind of controversial, but even so, for instance, a t-shirt, I will still hang a t-shirt. And the reason why is because I want to see, when I'm getting dressed, I want to see all the options I have for wearing that day. So if this is part of the building blocks for an outfit, then I want to be able to see it. I don't want it folded away and hidden in a drawer. So I hang most things. A few things that I don't hang are very thick and heavy, bulky sweaters. I'll fold those and put those in a bin. I actually don't hang most of my pants. You can see there are a couple pairs here that are hanging just because they wrinkle more easily. These are some wide leg crop pants, both pairs. And those I do hang, but for the majority of my pants and jeans, I'm putting them in one of these kind of bins. So this bin will hold 4 or 5 pairs of pants or jeans, and I know what I have, so they're not going to get too lost when they're folded and piled inside a bin like this. That's the same kind of bin that I would use for a big, bulky, thick, heavy winter sweater. I would just fold them and put them in that kind of a bin. And for sweaters, it really depends on the type. A really fine knit, thin cardigan or sweater, which might get damaged by the hanger, I'll fold that across the hanger and hang it that way. And then some sweaters that are kind of rough and tumble, I'll just hang them on hangers and they'll do fine. For instance, I have a couple of just more sturdy sweaters that are fine to hang, that doesn't make them damage at all. One thing that I think is really important visually, just to create that sense of calm in your closet, you don't want it to be an overwhelming place to look at, is to have matching hangers. I know it's not within the budget for some people, but it is a great option for making everything look really uniform. These are the hangers that I use. They're wooden, they're from IKEA, and they're only about 50 cents a piece, so not too expensive. I know a lot of people really love like the huggable hangers or the felt hangers, and those can be good. There are a couple things I don't like about them. One is the whole idea with those is that they're so thin that you can pack more in your closet. I really think you should have less in your closet, so you shouldn't be trying to pack more in anyway. The other thing I don't personally like is when I go to grab an article of clothing, I want to be able to just pull it off the hanger, and those felt hangers make it really hard. You have to take it down and slowly peel it off of the hanger. So I prefer to just be able to grab something and go. One thing that I think is really important is that you want to reduce the number of options that you look at on a daily basis, okay? So you may be familiar with the concept of decision fatigue. It's when you are presented with an array of options over and over throughout the day, and your ability to make a good decision deteriorates the longer you have to make decisions. So the fewer decisions you can make in the early part of your day when you're getting dressed, the better. So for that reason, I like to store off-season and special occasion clothes somewhere where they're not visually obvious. So get those out of your line of sight and store them somewhere where they're not visually present. For me, I have a hanging garment bag at the end of this rack of clothing, and I have off-season clothes in the very top shelf. Another way you can reduce the number of decisions you have to make when you're looking at your closet is to sort your clothes by use. So for instance, if you go to work every day in a corporate environment, then you're spending a lot of your time getting dressed for that type of day, and so you want to have those clothes front and center when you open your closet. You don't want to be confronted with all of your leisure wear or weekend wear when you know you're getting ready for work. So you can sort things by having your weekend clothes in one area and your work clothes in another area. Something else that I like to do is, just to make things easier, is to have certain things that just live in drawers and don't even really need to be folded or taken too much trouble with. So for me, loungewear, athletic wear, pajamas, those things are just kind of tossed in a drawer, and I grab out what I need, and I don't worry too much about keeping them pristinely folded. I like to store all my shoes on shelves. It just makes it easier to see what you have and keep them in good condition. Necklaces are a big part of my wardrobe. It's kind of my uniform to wear something really simple and then add a necklace. So I like to have them hanging on a wall so they don't get tangled with each other. Way up top is where I store things that are out of season. So right now I have some summer stuff and some deep winter stuff that's not out yet. I also store a few clutches, and I've got a couple of boxes of off-season shoes up there. So there are some things that I like to store in drawers. In this top drawer here, I have special occasion undergarments, things like tights and slips, and some swimsuits. In this middle drawer here is where I keep bras, underwear, and socks, and I just use a crappy old bin to create some dividers in that big drawer. The bottom drawer is where I store all my loungewear, which actually doubles as my PJs, so I don't have separate clothes just for sleeping in. My comfy clothes, as we call them in my house, are what I sleep in. And then I also have athletic wear in that drawer. There are lots of different ways to store scarves, different ways of hanging them, but for me, the best way I've found is just to have them in a drawer or a bin so that you can just grab one and go. It helps, again, to not have too many of them or they'll all get lost. But this is how I store my scarves, just in this bottom drawer here. So I hope some of those tips were helpful. Please drop a comment below if you have any other questions about any specific storage or organization items. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye. Like and subscribe.